And some people are fighting back on a whole lot of different levels. One of them is William Goodman. He's an attorney. He's the president of the board of directors of the Sugar Law Center for Economic and Social Justice. The website is sugarlaw.org. And the Twitter is Sugar Law Center, at Sugar Law Center. And first of all, Bill, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you very much, Tom. It's a pleasure to be with you.
I'm glad you could join us. You today are filing a lawsuit in Ingham County Court. I've been in the Ingham County Court. I incorporated a company there.
Really?
I grew up in Ingham County. It's Lansing, it's Michigan.
That's right.
And tell us about the lawsuit that you're filing.
Well, what happened was the legislature recently in Michigan passed the statute. Governor initiated it, and then the legislature, the Republican legislature, passed it. And up until this last piece of legislation passed a month or two ago, if there was a financial crisis in a local municipality or school board, the governor could appoint an emergency financial manager to operate the finances of the governmental entity, but did not take over the basic instruments of government, the school board or the city council or whatever it was.
Which is the stuff that we, the people, elect.
The new statute allows the governor and the state treasurer to appoint what's called an emergency manager who can come in, basically liquidate the charter, liquidate the ordinances, and liquidate the city government, so that this is now basically a power grab from the highest official in the state of Michigan to take over local government and destroy and eliminate the power and effectiveness of people's right to vote. It is an attack, fundamental attack on democracy.
This is really astounding, particularly when you think of the long arc of history of this. In the year 1215, on the plain of Runnymede in central England, King John was confronted by a group of his nobles, and they said, there are certain things you cannot do any longer because the people are acquiring power. Articles 38 and 39 of the Magna Carta, in particular, establish the right of habeas corpus. But the hit from then to the British, the two British Civil Rights Acts in the 1600s, the Glorious Revolution, all that stuff, and then the American Revolution. I mean, there's been this steady march forward of the people taking rights and powers and responsibilities and electing representatives to do their will. And what Rick Snyder in Michigan has done is essentially said that he doesn't give a rat's patootie about what the people want, that if the elected officials are not behaving in a way that he likes, he's going to replace them with his cronies, and he's going to pay them whatever he damn well feels like, and it's going to be probably a good six-figure salary. Do I have that right?
You have that right. It could be a private contractor. It can be a company. Basically, the idea of government, this is the foot in the door to get rid of government as an institution of, by, and for the people and establish it as another cash cow for large corporations and large capital. That's really what's part of what's going on. And the other part is forget about democracy and forget about the Constitution. Those days are gone, folks.
Right. We're back to 1214 when kings were sovereign and whatever they said was it.
That's right. And they say, well, these governments, these municipalities are not governing themselves well. If that were the standard, somebody should have come in and imposed an emergency manager on George W. Bush.
You're right, actually. I mean, he ran up a $5 trillion debt. Come on. It's amazing. So just to repeat for our listeners who might have just tuned in, we're talking with William Goodman. He's the attorney and the president of the board of directors of the Sugar Law Center for Economic and Social Justice. Their website, great website, a lot of great information, sugarlaw.org. And you are filing today, with the support of approximately 25 citizen plaintiffs, a challenge to this emergency manager law. Now, what is the legal basis for your challenge saying to the governor? Because the legislature actually authorized him to do this, to say to the governor and the Republican legislature, sorry, you can't strip democracy out of the state of Michigan.
Right. There are essentially three legal prongs to the attack. We're claiming that the statute violates the Michigan Constitution in three particular ways. First, once this emergency manager comes into play and takes over city government or a public body like a school board, the emergency manager has the authority to get rid of ordinances, eliminate charters, liquidate charters and ordinances, and then enact his own legislation. And that, in passing that piece of legislation, the legislature has crossed the line, the very bright line between legislating and the executive branch of government. So it violates the separation of powers doctrine. Right. That's item number one. Item number two is that it violates a provision of the Michigan Constitution known as the Headley Amendment that says that that the state cannot mandate cities to pay for taking on obligations that the state imposes on it. In this case, in comes the emergency financial manager, in comes his office, a building full of accountants and lawyers and all the rest of it, and guess who has to pay for it? The local municipality. So it violates that doctrine, too. It is what's called an unfunded mandate. And then item number three is this is basically an assault, as I said before, on what's known as the Republican small r, very small r form of government. That is that we get to elect our own public official. That's the essence of the lawsuit, Tom.
And that's perhaps the most infuriating part of the whole thing is that the governor is coming in and saying, I don't care what the people said. I don't care who the people elected. Well, I'm the big daddy. I know what's good, And it's just this is just so very wrong. Well, Bill Goodman, what can people do? We have just a little less than a minute left. What can people do to support your effort there at sugarlaw.org?
Well, they should certainly check out our website, which you've given out. Call if you've got ideas. There are probably going to be some public demonstrations for people in Michigan or around Michigan to come to.
Great.
I don't know about that for sure yet, but I'm sure it's going to happen. And contribute to the Sugar Law Center. Of course, that's a major way.
Okay, and contact your state representative and state senators?
Absolutely. Yes,
yeah. Okay. And contact your local elected officials.
They've already passed the legislation, but contact them again for sure.
Yeah. There you go. Raise some hell. We are on the air in every nook and cranny of the state of Michigan, Bill. So hopefully something will come out of this. Sugarlaw.org. Check it out. William Goodman, the Sugar Law Center. Thank you.